Hello and welcome. This is a Shadow Warrior class, which will be incorporating meditation, breath work, and then movement. And then we'll end with a little journaling, which is the shadow work, if you will. So we're going to begin on our back when you're ready. And we want to be in an active resting position. So our knees are bent and our whole spine is flat. Let your arms rest by your sides. Or take your hands on top of your sacral plexus, your sacral chakra. Which is right below the belly button. And the sacral chakra is our emotional awareness or embodiment. It is what allows us to embody the memories that are within us. When we remember memories that are emotionally driven, it's because we tend to have activated this chakra. It is the color orange. Begin to imagine the color orange under your hands, around your navel. And imagine your breath moving from this place. Now, if you are feeling any emotions, just observe what's coming in. There is no judgment. There is no way that you should be feeling. It is simply a witnessing. And our affirmation or sankalpa, positive statement, today is I am a student of my body. I am a student of my body. Noticing your breath moving through your sacral chakra. I am a student of my body. Letting your head be heavy, shoulders melting down your back. Back ribs staying down, and the sacrum pressing down. At the same time as your sacrum staying weighted, see if you can stay weighted in your thigh bones down into your hips. So you're keeping your core, your abdominal wall, slightly engaged to keep yourself centered. Now begin to inhale, expand into your back ribs, down to your lower back, your sacrum. As you exhale, letting go, you can open the mouth like a gentle sigh. Inhale, expand down your back into your low back, Sacral Chakra. Exhale. Like a glass of water, inhale, fill up from your belly, then your ribs, and then your collarbones. Exhale from your collarbones, ribs, and belly. Inhale. Exhale. We want to slow the breath down so we can stimulate the calm effect of our nervous system. When we are in this calm state, we can have more awareness of our body and our mind. See if it feels like you're centered, if you're even on both sides of your spine. Both of your hips evenly settle down, your shoulders, and then begin to observe your mind. Observe the thoughts that are moving through like clouds in the sky. In doing shadow work, we talk about ego and higher self. The ego likes to feed off of fear, and the higher self enjoys love. It wants to be in a state of love. The ego will tend to find reasons to be more negative. It'll be moving you to a place of the past or the future. But the higher self lives in the present, because that is the only truth. In the present, you are right here in your body. You're breathing deeply, and you can feel, you can become receptive to what is happening within you. I am a student of my body. I am present in my body. And I embody my body. Take another big inhale, expand down your back ribs into your low back. Think of the color orange like an orange peel. As you exhale, letting any emotions within you be felt, be embodied. And let's take the arms now down by the sides of our torso with the palms facing down. And then start with the north-south tilt, curling the tailbone up into north, and then reaching the tailbone forward and down to south. And keep your ribs on the ground as you isolate your pelvis. North to south. Keep riding the wave of emotion as it rolls through your spine. The point of having emotion is because there is a lesson that our spirit is trying to show us or teach us. So we want to acknowledge emotion, but we also want to be a student and learn. And then once we understand that we have that emotion, that it's serving us it's asking us to look at it, then what do we do with it? How do we turn that emotion into higher self, into a place of being present, and then to use it for positive energy, for love? All right, so now we'll go into rolling bridge. Start with the north tilt and roll up onto your shoulder blades. Keep pressing the heels down, reach your knees forward and squeeze up from your lower glutes to bring the hips higher. Keep your shoulder blades down your back. And then sink your sternum and roll down your spine till your hips land and go into south. And switch north, rolling up. Keep the legs parallel. And then come all the way down. And south. Good. Keep going. Taking your time with this. This is all about creating articulation through your spine. This is absolutely safe to do if you have any cervical, neck issues. Just making sure you keep the weight in your shoulders, shoulder blades. And then hold your bridge at the top. Keep pressing your heels down and reach your knees forward. Keep your thighs parallel. And we'll start by lifting into marching. One knee over the hip. Keep your leg in a tabletop position. Bring it down from going to the ball to the heel of your foot. Switch sides and then go from the ball to the heel. This is very mindful. Now your hips don't move. They stay in the same square position. Keep using your lower glutes, the lower glute folds to help you. Shoulders are supporting Your abdominal wall, your cylinder is holding you stable. Good. So we're just being very mindful of our body. We're a student of our body, a student of our emotions. We're here to do the work of moving from ego to higher self, to be more present, to move towards positive, to love ourselves. All right, one more time. Even it out. Good. And then stay here. Keep those hips up. Now we want to straighten the left leg. Keep the left knee straight, thighs parallel. And then lower the leg halfway down. Bring it up to parallel. Halfway down. Don't let the right side change. Stay nice and strong through your core. One more. And then we bend the knee to bring the ball of the foot down. Roll to the heel. Straighten the right leg. Keep it straight as you lower halfway and then to parallel. Good. We want to really work on those hips staying up. Drive the heel. Squeeze the lower glutes. Keep the core nice and slightly constricted. Last one. Then bend the knee. Roll from ball to heel. Okay, one more move. We're going to do like a figure 8 with our hips. So the right hip presses up, the left hip sort of dives down into the left and then up. And then right hip dives down and to the right and up. So we're going into figure 8s. And you're going in one direction. Do your best to keep your knees parallel. We're really targeting obliques, glutes, hamstrings, all the good areas of the body. We're also creating more mobility in our pelvis. Good. Now switch direction. Go the other way in your figure 8. Allow emotion to flow through you. Ride the wave. There's sometimes a release that we need to do, like deep breathing or crying. Let that flow if you're feeling that way. Holding it back does not serve the higher self. We just feel. We embody our body. One more time. Feeling this in the glutes now. All right, go ahead and roll it down. Beautiful. Now you're still in a active resting position, keeping your hips stable. Let one knee open up from the hip and the other leg stays the same. Bring it into center. Switch. Other knee opens out and center. So you're keeping your pelvis flat, grounded, even. And you're just isolating the outer hip, inner thigh. Outer hip, inner thigh. This is a great prep for external rotation. Okay, we're going to add to this. So as the knee opens, now slide the foot forward, straighten the leg so the toes are center, and then drag your heel with your hamstring. Good. Continue on the same side. Just a couple more. Open, drag forward, slide. Good. Let's switch sides. Other knee open, slide forward, turn and drag. Open, slide forward, turn and drag. One more time. Keep those hips grounded. Lots of core work here. Awesome. Okay, start with your one left knee, bring it above your hip, tabletop your leg. And then we're going to straighten the right leg at a diagonal. So your left knee is bent, your right leg is straight. And then take an inhale, nod your nose down. Exhale, curl your head off the ground. Good. You're going to take your arms out by the sides, palms facing up, and then switch, switch, switch. I like to imagine sliding my heel on a slanted table. So there's more energy going into the back of the leg as you imagine the heel is dragging or sliding. You can always do this with your head down. And then become a student of your body. Notice where you can find more balance, where you can find more effort. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend both knees, lower the head, keep your knees in tabletop position. Take one inhale, expand the back ribs down to your low back, and exhale out. All right, keeping the legs in tabletop, nod your nose, sink your sternum and lift your head. Take your hands to the outsides of your knees, and then straighten both legs, reach the arms back. Exhale, round the arms forward to your shins. Inhale out, exhale in. Again, the head can always be down. This is such a great way for you to feel the work deeply in your core. Last one. Really, really good. Let the head come down. All right. Taking both knees into your hands, just circle the knees, stir it out. And then switch direction. Stir the other way. All right, we're going to take the left leg up to the ceiling, straighten through the left leg. And then the right knee can be bent, or you can straighten the right leg. Keep the heel down if you're going to straighten the leg, flex the ankle. So now we're going to turn the leg internally and externally. It's almost like a mortar and pestle. Just wanting to create some aromatics. You know, you're trying to mash some herbs or some whole spices. Good. Just warming up the hip joint for 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to go into external rotation and then circle the leg out without changing the pelvis. Little circle. The other leg, you want to reach the heel down. Feel the back of your leg working. One more circle this direction and then switch. Cross the other way. As you cross your midline, internally rotate. Good. Allow yourself to be a student of your body. Can I activate my core more? From the soul, from the sacral plexus. All right, go ahead and bend the knee. You can keep the knee bent or straighten the leg. And then take the right leg up and turn externally and internally. Rotate, rotate. So a lot of times when we're learning something new for the body, or if we notice that there's restrictions, or maybe we're not feeling certain things, it's typically because we haven't developed awareness. And it could be that there's been a lot of time where we haven't created circulation in those areas. So when I do a lot of these moves, especially these very subtle moves, it's about retraining or reprogramming your nervous system to feel yourself, to be able to study your body. All right, here we go. External rotation, circle, and then internally rotate to cross, circle. So important that we start the rotation from the hip socket so we can feel more stability in our pelvis. All right, switching direction, circle. The left heel is pressing down, activating the back of your leg. Keep your core engaged from the solar, the sacral, the root chakras, all staying in alignment here. One more circle. Really good. Go ahead and bend the knee. All right. Bring both feet together, knees together. Your hips are flat. Take your arms out like a T. And actually bring your thumbs up and press your hands down. So your arms are in a T or goalpost, and you've got your thumbs, your palms facing up, your thumbs pressing down. This is a good way to encourage external rotation. And we'll just go with knee sways. Let your knees stay together as you move to one side. Now keep the ribs of the other side down and then center. Switch, other side, feet together, exhale, center. Inhale down, keep the back ribs down. So I know that's pretty challenging, to be honest with you. You have to focus deeply into your obliques. Take your time and go at your pace. We're waking up our obliques and we're tuning in to our deep inner body. Couple more here. Good. One more time. Good. And then keep the arms as they are in that nice external rotation. And then straighten both legs up to the ceiling. We're going to keep the feet together. And we're going to do what we just did with the one leg, but with two. This is called corkscrew. So turn the knees to face the same direction, circle around. And the hip will do a little bit of a seesaw, a little drop. Switch direction. But it doesn't need to be super big. Bigger is not better. We want to create control, precision. That's how we become embodied. Everything in our body is because of our own awareness and control. Find your core, your abdominal pulling in from your sacral. Good. One more time. And then let your knees bend. Take your hands to the back of your thighs, roll up and down, rolling 3 times up your spine. And then come all the way up to seated. All right. So from this, we're going to keep the legs together and flex the ankles. Sit up nice and tall. Find your sitting bones are weighted. Your ischial tuberosities are your sitting bones, and they're weighted down. Now, You might need to take your hand to your sacrum and just make sure that it's vertical. If you're feeling like there's a rounding here, then you should sit on a little bolster because you want to have enough room for your hamstrings to stretch back. And bending the knees will help too. So you have more room for your pelvis to move, to tilt forward. Okay, we're taking the hands to our shoulders, and then we're going to rotate and pulse for 3 pulses on each side. So take an inhale, exhale, rotate, pulse, 2, 3, inhale, turn, exhale, pulse, 2, 3, inhale, exhale, 1, 2, 3, inhale, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Good. 1, 2, 3. Rotate from your collarbones. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. One more on each side. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Really, really good. Now we'll just start with the feet apart. Again, the knees can be bent as much as they need to. We're going to do a saw. So we're adding rotation, flexion, and we saw past our foot, past our pinky toe. Take your arms into your peripheral vision, your scapular plane. Press your shoulder blades into your back ribs. Take an inhale to grow tall as you rotate. Exhale. Take the, I rotated to my right, so take the right hand back. Then nod the nose, reach the sternum back, and curl into a flexion. Saw past your toe for 3, 2, 1. Inhale up. As you rotate, exhale, reach the left arm back and internally rotate. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. We're adding the rotation of the arms. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Really deepen like a candy cane from your head. Inhale. Exhale. Saw, saw, saw. Inhale. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Good. A little mat Pilates here. 1, 2, 3. Getting deep into the core and the rotation from the collarbones. One more time. Last side. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful work. Okay. We're going to move on to some work in the, go ahead and come off the bolster if you have one. Come onto the hands and knees. So from hands and knees to quadruped position, getting awareness in our shoulder blades. We're going to start with retraction, protraction. So retracting the shoulder blades, letting them come together and sink your sternum. Keep your elbows straight. Exhale, press the shoulder blades up and apart, broadening across your back of the heart. Inhale, retract. Exhale, protract. Good. So continue with the breath. You're creating awareness in your upper back. You're feeling your shoulder blades, your scapula sliding back and forth. Almost like it feels like you're trying to flap your wings like a butterfly. I am a student of my body, observing the sensation of bringing blood flow into this area along your spine, to your back ribs, and then side ribs. One more time. Good. And then we're going to find stability. So reach your shoulder blades down your back and press slightly in to your back ribs. So also lift your sternum to press and pull, really pull your ribs up into the shoulder blades as you press your shoulder blades down into your ribs. So this is the anchoring that we want to have. And let's start with the left arm. Reach that forward, the right leg back, bring it off the ground. Hold here. Keep your low back nice and flat, your sacral chakra. And we'll take the arm and the leg out to the edge, away from the midline, and in, and out, and in. So there's a challenge here for your balance. You're having to pay very close attention to your spine. Good. Out for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Really good. Take the hand and leg down. Before we do the other side, we'll do a little cat-cow. So inhale, extend the spine from crown and sit bones, but keep your low ribs in. And then exhale, cat, curling the tail and crown down. Inhale, cow, keep the low ribs in, shoulder blades down. Exhale, cat. So we're moving through the spine, flexion and extension. One more time. Good. Find your center. Feel your low back is flat. Your solar plexus, sacral chakra, and root chakra are all in one line. Slide your right hand and left leg out and lift them off the ground. Keep the low back up. And let's go out to the side and center. Out and center. Out and in. So much good work here for the lumbo-pelvic stability. For 4, 3, 2, and a 1. Yes. Let's walk the hands forward into a puppy pose. And keep the low ribs in as you let your forehead rest. Now press your hands down into the floor. Feel the work coming from your shoulder sockets. Imagine your shoulder blades are wanting to reach towards your pinky fingers. Press your back ribs into your shoulder blades at the same time. This is the connection of your upper back and your rib cage. Shoulder blade, scapula stability. And then coming forward, we're going to lower the elbows and slide onto the pubic bone. Sphinx pose. Press the elbows down and imagine dragging them back. Collarbones stay really wide. And then just allow yourself to lift and activate from your sacral chakra again, above the pubic bone. As if there was a little ladybug walking underneath that you want to make some room for. Check in with your chest. Are you open and broad through your collarbones, out to the edges of your shoulders, and then turn the thumbs up, press the thumbs into the floor for external rotation. One more breath here. Grow long through the spine as you roll those shoulder blades down. And then slowly lower down, let the arms reach forward, palms face each other. And just notice, be a student of your body. Notice where the position of your bony landmarks are, your pubic bone, your ribs, your forehead. And then bring your hands to get your fingertips together and your elbows bending out. So your arms are in a diamond. This is called diamond arms. Start by lifting the hands and pushing your elbows into the floor. Feel where this is coming from in your upper back. This should be coming from the tips of your shoulder blades or the bra strap line. And then lower and lift. Spine is staying straight. You still have your anchor points, pubic bone, ribs, and forehead. The only thing working are the muscles in your upper back, specifically the bra strap area, which is your lower trapezius. Good, just for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Really, really good work. Take your elbows under your shoulders again into Sphinx. We're going to turn the palms up, thumbs down. I like doing this for the rotation in the shoulder joints. And then tuck your toes. Start by lifting up into a forearm plank. Good. And you've got your thumbs reaching down the whole time. So we're widening through the collarbones to the shoulder blades. Keep the back ribs pressing into the shoulder blades as you anchor the shoulder blades into your back ribs at the same time. Lift from your sacral. Lengthen from your crown through your sit bones. One more breath here. And then bend the knees down, come into Sphinx. Untuck the toes, push the feet into the floor, broaden across your chest, your collarbones, smiling the collarbones. One more time, tuck the toes, come into a forearm plank. Now we're going to go into our figure eights. The right hip goes down as you swirl the left hip over and under, over and under. Oh yeah, challenging in this plane compared to the bridge. That's the challenge, right? We're always trying to give our body a little added effort and then switch direction. Emotions are going to come up when we get challenged. That's the point. When I started doing yoga, I was very angry. I was always very angry when I did yoga class. So I know I had a lot of emotion to work through. And that's why I love to teach. We got 4, last 3, last 2, and last 1. Take the knees down. Good work. Child's pose. The hands, they can stack above the back of your neck. And then your elbows stay close to your head. So it's a tricep stretch. And your spine is nice and long. All right. We're just going to finish with a little bit of rotation, and then we will journal. So come to a seat, crossing your legs Sitting up nice and tall, feel your sit bones, your ischial tuberosities staying weighted into the floor. Shoulder blades should feel like they're draping down your back now that you're not having to work as hard to stabilize. And then start by just turning your chest towards the right. Take your hands with you as you stay nice and long through your spine and open from your collarbones. Your collarbones want to rotate. Good. Take it to center and switch. Take your hands with you. Take your chin towards your shoulder. Turn from the collarbones. Really good. And then we'll stack the knees. So if this is not feeling good for you, just straighten the bottom leg, please. Okay, I've got my my right knee is up. So now we'll take a like cow face. So my left elbow is going to bend. Let's do a rotation first. So we rotate the left elbow or the left thumb up, and then we bend. The other hand might meet the other hand. Otherwise, you can let them press onto your back. Press your head back into your arm. And then rotate your collarbones. Keep staying lifted, proud chest. One more breath as you go a little deeper. And then gently release. You can lean back and do a little can-can with your legs. Good. You got your sit bones, ischial tuberosities. I've got my arms here. I'm going to rotate the right thumb up and bend the elbow. And then press the head back into the arm. Lifting up tall, start to rotate from the collarbones. Start to be mindful and listen to your thoughts. Are they of a place in the future, or are they in the present? You manifest what you want for the future by choosing how you think in the present. Go ahead and release, and then take your feet together into a butterfly, sitting up nice and tall, lifted. Keep your spine, keep your collarbones really wide, and then hinge from your hips. So all of this is about practicing being a student of your body, of your mind, of your breath. Being a student means to learn, to grow, and to master the skill. Master of your body, master of your mind. That is what it means to be free. And then gently come on up. Beautiful work. We're going to sit and observe. Now, if you want to lie down, that's great. You can lie down. You can also sit on a bolster or on a chair if you prefer. We're just going to end in a short meditation and just begin to observe. I am the student of my body. Is my body in a place of calm? Is my body feeling any emotion? Just observe. Be a student. And then notice, because this happens for me, notice if the mind is trying to justify or trying to explain away what the body is feeling. Can you keep it separate? Pay attention to your sacral chakra, the center of our emotions, of our desires, of our wants and needs. And then become a student of your mind. Without judgment, just notice what kinds of thoughts are coming up. We are the silent witness. Our thoughts do not come from us. They only come from ego or higher self. Deep inhale down into your sacral chakra. Exhale. I am a student of my body. Take your arms up as you inhale. Gather up the energy, the light force, and then exhale, bring it in to the heart. All right, now we get to go to the fun part. We're going to journal now. So grabbing your journal. Basically, oh, pardon me. Your palms in your lap. It moved to a guided meditation. We went through that whole song. Okay, so for your journal, right at the top, or like the title is, I am a student of my body. So that was our theme for today. And this is all about mindfulness, awareness, right? And then manifestation. So I'm a student of my body. The first thing to write is what came up for you today in this meditation, or maybe throughout the class. Emotions, thoughts. Just write what comes to you in this time. And especially if you're noticing a theme, that's important too. Like, you know, the same reoccurring thoughts, or the way the thoughts made you feel when you realized you were thinking the thought. Okay, so that's important that we write that down automatically after we just experienced it because it's fresh, right? We're able to reach a theta state to be able to observe and notice without being reactive. And then number 2, so now that we've acknowledged our emotion and our thoughts, I want you to write down if anything that you felt in this practice today brought up fear. It could just have been being still, right? That can bring up a lot of stuff, especially if we've been distracting ourselves from our concerns. So write the fear, right? If there's a specific fear that came up, maybe it was your physical body's ability, maybe it was something that's taking you outside of the room into somewhere else that you feel fear. It could be a memory, right? That can be really triggering. So just write it down and know that it's safe to write it down. It's only for you to look at. Okay. And you know, fear really, it is such a common theme. It's a thread through our lives. You know, we can justify having fear as a reason to serve, to protect us. That is, you know, ultimately what the fear serves for is the fight, flight, freeze necessity when we are actually in a state of being threatened. If our life is actually being threatened, yes, the fear serves a purpose and it will put us into survival. And it's something that has come from our nature, especially when we, you know, we're living in a world that was unsafe physically and we had to be strong and smart. But we live now in 2021. You know, and so just really understanding that the way our nervous system reacts to fear, it doesn't know the difference between a deadline or being chased by a bear. It really doesn't. It reacts the same. So if we understand that our nervous system is reacting from fear because it's just being triggered, stimulated, that this response is happening, the only way we can actually get the body to come to a state of calm is through the breath. That's why we are a student of our body, because we must relearn how our body needs to be treated to be in balance, to serve the higher self. So we have to take back our power and our control over our own body. We have to be a student. We learn and we master our body. So now that you've written down your fears and things that you've felt concerned about in this 1 hour of practice, now, number 3 is your higher self. Okay, your higher self, which comes from a place of abundance. Your higher self does not see limitations. Your higher self is like, it's like your parent or your biggest fan or a cheerleader. Like it's the thing that is rooting for you to live your best life. And you know this is true when you see people who are doing it, right? You see there are people who are incredibly successful and happy, and you can tell there's a vitality to them. It's because they have overcome this ego, and they've moved towards higher self. They've been able to overcome and become abundant. They have everything they need, right? It's a mental thing. It's a mentality that we're building. So imagine if you were your higher self, or maybe imagine you're talking to a girlfriend, a best friend, and she's telling you about this fear. How would you tell her to overcome it? What would you tell her to do? You know, actually, first thing really is it true? That's a really important one. Like, is this fear that, like, take it all the way to how bad it could get. If you're really feeling the fear and you're really concerned that it's that bad of a fear, like, for example, let's talk about money. I think that's the biggest factor for fear in our society, is if we have enough income. So if you actually didn't have income, if that's your biggest fear, what would happen? What's the worst that could actually happen? Would you be able to find support? Would you be able to find another path, another route, a backup to it? You know, like, if you had to work another job kind of thing, or if you had to ask for friends or family for money, you know, things like that. Like, actually process through the fear and see if it really is as bad as your body thinks it is. So, you know, first thing is it true? Take it to where as bad as it could get. And then your higher self. What would your higher self want to tell you about what's beyond the fear? Your higher self is rooting for you. So imagine that you can tune into that abundance. If you had no blocks, nothing in the way, that you could just manifest. So is it true? That's the first one. Katie Byron's really good at that. She does that all the time with the is it true, right? The fear stuff, because, you know, you dissect it and it doesn't seem like the biggest boogeyman you actually thought it was. Yeah, so is it true? Take it all the way to, if you really, you know, are that worried, concerned, how bad could it get? Is it really that bad? Do you really, you know, do you have help? Is there someone you know that would help you? So knowing that we have support, we have community, and then after that, just, you know, write what your higher self would do, like your best friend or parent, someone that's really, really rooting for you, that's on your side. What would that person or that energy, what would it want for you? If you could just reach for the stars, if you could manifest whatever you want. Okay, so obviously if you need more time, please take your time and write more. But just to reiterate that taking in that sankalpa, I'm a student of my body. And to finish, if there was something that a little aha happened for you at the higher self stage, like if you actually were able to move through the fear and see what would happen on the other side of it, that you could manifest that reality that you want, I really suggest and invite you to add a picture of that, visual picture. Maybe you could draw it or paint it and add it to your vision board and put that dream, that manifestation, and put it somewhere you look at every day. So I have a vision board that I have on the wall that I pass by, so I use that. I know other people like to have something in their wallet, or maybe a painting, you know, something that you see visually. So you're just constantly, you're manifesting this dream of what it would be like to be your higher self, to serve, you know, your higher self and be in a place of love. So thank you so much for joining me in this Shadow Warrior class, and leave a comment if this resonated with you. Thank you so much from my heart